Hello, good afternoon. My name's Kate. My surname is Sinfield, hence the Sin Gin. One of my friends thought that would be a very good idea when we started. We started back in 2016, and in 2019 we moved out here to the Swan Valley because one of the things you need when you open a distillery is loads and loads of space. And in the Swan Valley we have a lot of space. Here you can see us, we're inside the Swan Settlers Market, which is a 101-year-old grape sorting shed in the centre of the Swan Valley. And now we'll go through to the distillery. Come. So these are our stills. We have two 200-litre stills. The base product for all our gin is old Swan Valley wine. So all the old wine from the Swan Valley that's in a barrel or in a bottle that nobody wants anymore still has a high alcohol content. And we use that as our base product. And Great Northern Distillery round the corner, they distill that down to us to 96.1% pure alcohol, and then it comes in here and then we make it into gin. Perth Pink is one of our lead products, and this is a gin that's pink but not a pink gin. It's actually a proper gin. If you open them, it's very beautiful. So it's got lemon myrtle, strawberry gum and rosella flowers. A beautiful gin. As with Sin Gin, we do the 7 Deadly Sins series of gins. So we have a gin for every day of the week. We have Pride, we have Lust. Lust is a big lemon myrtle gin, very, very popular. We have Sloth, we have Envy, which is 6 native botanicals. We have our multi-award winning Greed, which is a big juniper London dry style. And then we have Gluttony and we have Wrath, which has some mountain pepper berries and some spicier ingredients in it. So what we've done is create a range of gin liqueurs, but this gin here is the gin that I'm most proud of. It's an old English recipe that we've changed to cope with Australian conditions, and it uses wild Tasmanian sloe berries soaked in our Greed gin for about 6 months, and it's the most highly awarded sloe gin in Australia. And I always make jokes that if we only made one gin, this is the gin we'd make. It's absolutely divine. You have it cold or on ice, or you mix it with Prosecco to make a slow royale. Just fantastic stuff. And we're sitting in our area where we do make your own gin. So we created this area originally because actually what you need is you need a set up area so you can constantly do testing, because we're constantly creating new gins, new styles, playing with different botanicals. You can see some of the botanicals here. Having this area set up is really good for the distillers so they can practice all the time, but it's also fantastic for guests to come in and make their own gin. So they make their own gin, takes about a 2.5-hour class, and they go home with a big bottle of gin, which they label over there. So when you come and visit our distillery, you actually get to sit in the distillery and see everything that we've been looking at today. I've just been asked to comment on if you'd like to open a distillery, some advice. Well, let me think. The environment is very different to when I started in 2016. We had a hotel, and I've always had something that supports me start my next business. And so the distillery grew out of that. So my first advice would be make sure you've got a cash flow stream while you're starting your business, or you've got lots of equity or capital to start you going, because you always need more cash than you realise when you're starting anything. I highly recommend anyone who wants to open a distillery, go and work with some other people who have distilleries as well. Hang out, because not just making it, you've actually got to have some good business nous as well, because I don't want to see people failing in their ventures, and because of the tax, the margins are very low, so you just have to be a bit careful. I'm going to make an espresso martini with our coffee liqueur. There we go. And some other secret ingredients. The trick is to shake it till it's really cold, and then you can be assured of some really good foam. And make sure the lid doesn't come off. There we go. And then a little garnish. Now the trick to garnishes is you always have to use an odd number. So in this case, we're going to use 3 coffee beans. So if you're doing a piece of fruit, 1 piece of fruit, or 3 pieces of fruit. Never 2 for some reason. Here we go, enjoy.